Hello, Susan McGarry here. I wanted to do a little etching on dichroic glass, and so I thought I would show you what I was doing. Here's the things that I'm using for this project. The first thing obviously is dichroic glass. You can use black backed dichroic glass. I think there's a disadvantage for this particular project, and I'll show you why in a bit. Or you can use clear back. So that's going to be my preference. That's what I'm going to use for this project. So I'll need a small piece of black glass to go with it. So let's set this aside. I'm also going to use something sharp. Doesn't have to be these, but something sharp to tell which side of the glass has the dichroic coating. I'm also going to use a Sharpie marker that I'm going to draw my design on my dichroic glass. I'll use my Dremel 300. That's just the one I have, my preference. Had it a long time. Missing some pieces, still works great. And your favorite bit, wherever you can get them. I also need a tray with water. So I just have a little plastic tray here that has some water in it. Can you see that? And I just take some of this, I think it's drawer liner, and put it in there for a nice cushion. Not necessary, but I like it. Helps me out. All right, so the first thing I want to do is figure out which side of the glass has the dichroic coating. And if you're not familiar with how to do that, watch my video on that. So it is this side. The next thing I want to do is draw my design that I'm going to do on the glass. I'm actually going to turn it around so that I get a lot of my detail up here. It looks like right here there is no dichroic coating. And so I want to avoid that for the busiest part of my design, which is up here. And then you just take your Sharpie marker and draw what it is you want. Okay, I have a general idea of what I want. I like to let this dry just a minute or two, because then the water doesn't let it float off. All right, put it in your water. And I'm going to etch this away, and then I'll show you how I check it. Okay, I got most of it done here. I'm going to take my black glass and set my dichroic piece on there. And if you'll see, because I've got the black marker here, it's a little more difficult to see what I've etched. So we flip it over. Now we can't see the black marker, but I can see exactly where I've etched. You see that? So some of them don't go all the way out. I think I'll add a couple of more of those short ones. I don't have enough around the eye of the peacock feather, so I think I'll add a couple more up there. Other than that, I'm liking how that's turning out. So let me flip this back over. See what we've got. I'll flip it back over, put it on the black glass. I'm getting pretty close. All right, that's a pretty good look. I'm liking that. I think we've got a good design. So I think I'm done etching. You'll want to clean your pieces. And if you want to get all that black marker off, you can use rubbing alcohol, but it's not necessary. So now you have to decide, do you want the piece with the dichro down on the black, and that will give it sort of this underwater sort of look, being under the clear, because remember, there's a piece of clear between the dichro and the top, right? So it would be, the dichro would be covered in clear. The other option is to turn it up and have the dichro facing up. Now the clear is next to the black. The dichro will not be under clear, and it gives it a completely different look. So what I've done is made this one while you guys were watching, and I have one that I've already made that I'll do face up. Now you can see the advantage of using dichro on clear. If I were using the dichro with the black glass with a dichroic coating, you wouldn't be able to put it face down. So you wouldn't have that option. So I like having this option. So I'm going to fuse this one and this one together, same kiln, same time, but one face up and one face down and one face up. And then we'll see the results. Okay, it's been about 24 hours for me, just a couple of seconds for you, but I fired these in a kiln last night. My fire schedule was 500 degrees an hour to 1450. I held for 10 minutes and then off, and I let the kiln cool to room temperature by itself. On this one, there's no clear on top, so it sort of has a matte finish, and this one has more of an underwater sort of finish because of that clear on top. And even some of the dichro has sort of seeped out along the edges, so that's kind of interesting. Now, if you take a little more time, of course, you'll get a better design, and you can make some really pretty pieces this way. Just pick out whatever type of design you want and etch it right in. So the next thing I would do is add a bail to them. So pick your favorite bail, whatever you think would suit your pendant. These pendants are 2 inches by 1 1/4, so they're a pretty big size, so it can actually handle a bigger bail, this little filigree bail. So what I would do is take my Dremel tool again, pick the spot where my bail is going to be, and rough it up a little bit. I just think that helps my bail stick. Then I take a little E6000, that's my favorite adhesive, put a little on the bail. All right. Now I stick this onto my pendant. There we go. Get some of that dust off. All right, I press these down hard. All right, so I'm going to let those sit for 24 hours, and then I'll stick them in an oven, an actual oven, but you can use your kiln for this, 275 degrees for 20 minutes, and then I'll let them cool to room temperature, and you have a finished piece of jewelry. They'd be all done. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks. Bye.